Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for February 12th, 2022. With your host, SpaceWaker2448, and Wrap It Up Salon.
Hi.
We have two directs to talk about.
Ooh.
Yacht Club did a direct.
Oh.
It's technically called a direct. Well, it's like Yacht Club Presents, but yeah. Although, there's honestly only one thing worth talking about in it, because the rest of it is it kind of just, hey, here is an update on the things that are already out, by the way. But yeah, we have a direct, another direct, a game that, I will be honest, kind of looks less interesting after the reveal of it a couple years ago. I don't think we've technically talked about the Halo series trailer on the show yet.
I mean, we have on a show.
Yes, but not this show. The relevant show to have that conversation.
I mean, really... really, if you say that, wouldn't TGSR be the relevant one?
Either or, I guess. I don't know. We don't really talk news stuff on there unless it's the current writer show.
I mean, fair.
And then the Sony buying the Bungie, so Bungie has now been owned by two of the big three. Kind of. It's weird. We'll get into it. But first, Zabe, what have you been playing the last couple weeks?
Not really a whole lot. I have picked up the new Martin Party.
How has been the Martin Party?
What I've played, fine. When I tried to play one game of the online, it kicked me out, so I'm wondering how bad some of the rando netcode can be.
Yeah, because I've seen between friends it's been perfectly fine.
And see, that's the whole reason I was like, well, I'll try it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it wound up dropping the connection, and I'm like, okay. That happened. I mean, it could just be a fluke with that one. I'd want to play more before I'm just like, well, that's a thing.
Yeah, I've been tempted to pick that up, and now tempted to pick up something else that we'll get to later.
I mean, fair.
So, anything else?
Not really, besides the occasional... I get the urge to try to do a rando. And the recurring theme that keeps happening at the moment is that I either, one, lose interest part of the way through, because, you know, get tired or something, or two, I do something completely stupid. Because, you know, haven't had problems with the KH2 rando in a while. If I'm not mistaken, it crashed on me, and I said, you know what? No, I'm not doing this. I didn't finish the seed because of that. I'm like, yep. Because I've been so used to it not crashing that I didn't save. And I'm like, yeah, no. I just don't care now.
So, I've been playing a bit more Master Duel.
I have not touched that in a while.
I want to like this. The problem is my experience in ranked, which means my experience playing anyone else that isn't the AI. I keep running into the same like rotation of 4 decks.
Doesn't surprise me.
And all of them are hard counters against the deck I play. Because all of them, because it's a Blue Eyes deck, it is the Eldritch deck. It is the Time Lord deck. And I forget what the fourth one is that I've ran into a whole bunch. But I just keep running in the control decks that just set up and are just in the position to just say no to anything and everything you do. And it sucks. Because my deck does not benefit from going first at all. It benefits from going second. Because my whole deck's game plan, which is my E-Hero and now an E-Hero Mass Hero deck, is to summon out a bunch of monsters and to smack you in the face really hard. The problem is that any deck that goes first, that is a control deck, they set up, they get their stuff out, and I'm just like, I can't stop you. Because I have no means of stopping you. On turn one. Unless I maybe get a magic or trap card that does that. So I essentially lose turn one. And it sucks, because if you surrender, you get nothing out of the duel. So the game incentivizes you to play the duel out. That's what because they're going to do an event in the next couple of weeks or so, I believe. That's an Exceeds themed deck, themed event, where they want you to play an Exceeds deck, essentially. And they specifically say you do not get rewards if you surrender, so you have to play out every duel, win or lose. And yeah, I don't. And because duels take so long, for me at least, I just keep running into the situation of, well, this duel's over. I guess I'm just waiting it out then. It sucks. It sucks to feel, because it's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to counter any of this. Because anytime I try to counter it, it feels like those counters get countered again. So it's essentially just, no, you lose turn one. It's over. Goodbye. And I was seeing Ty play a little bit today, and it's just like, oh, you're running in the decks that aren't fucking these control meta decks that I see all the fucking time. Can I get down to your starting rank in bronze so I can have fun with the game again? Because it feels like the only time I get to have fun is when I go up against the AI. The bad part is sometimes the AI is really easy, and I just steamroll them. Because honestly, right now with Yu-Gi-Oh, it's just like, if you're not playing one of these control style decks, you lose. Sorry, the control deck is the meta. Just in general, if your deck does not have some sort of control, like hard control in a hard denial built in that gets you that at turn one, too bad you lose. It's not, you can come back from it. No, you just lose. It's over. Goodbye. It sucks. I hate it. I hate that's what your deck has to be if you want to actually win anything.
Yeah, that does suck.
Yeah. I also hate Time Lords in general because all they are is 0 attack, 0 defense monsters. But one of them is, if this monster battles, you take no damage at all. But if the monster attacks, your opponent loses half their life points. And it cannot be affected by spells or traps. Consider that for a second. How dumb that one card is. And they made Time Lords consistent because they introduced 2 cards. They let you get consistent Time Lords. And I'm just like, why? Why did you make this consistent? Why did you make yet another style of archetype that is just, no, I get to do what I want. You're not going to fight me. I just want to actually fight people with duels. I don't want to just say no to everything they want to do. I want to straight up fight them.
I mean, that's not the heart of the cards.
I just want to pull out my big fancy monsters and let them pull out their big fancy monsters, and we just see who has more attack by the end, and go from there. I don't want it to be decided on turn 0. But yeah, that's been the main thing. I've dabbled back in Fortnite since I've decided to stop streaming it. Since Dwayne the Dwayneson is available now to pick up for doing challenges and stuff. They just added Nathan Drake and Chloe Fisher from Uncharted as their movie versions with an alternate skin for their proper video game versions.
So that's not weird at all.
So now you can have Tom Holland Spider-Man and Tom Holland Nathan Drake in the same video game. It has not been much else, though. Unfortunately, the last couple of weeks have been... I don't know why, I've just not felt like doing anything the last couple of weeks.
I mean, fair.
I'm not sure what it is. It's how I felt last weekend. I was just like, I'm in low power mode. I've got nothing. But anything else before we hit the news then?
No.
All right then, kicking off, we have a direct of Cursed Kerbals. Yay!
Yes. Just that.
I love that there are people who love the Cursed Kerbals, and there are people horrified by the Cursed Kerbals. I am one of the people who love the Cursed Kerbals.
I mean, I guess you could say they're right. It is a mouthful.
Yeah. Like, I heard the thing of like, well, Kirby can swallow anything. Why is he having trouble with these? And I'm like, that's not the point. You forget the part where Kirby is an eldritch horror. That the only reason he hasn't destroyed the universe is because he is baby. This is the kind of stuff that is Kirby.
Okay. I see both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with car being the first thing. So
yeah.
he can swallow wheel, but he can't swallow car.
Right.
Granted, with this I also have to say, the people that are like, oh, he could actually swallow a car. Yes, he could. The thing is, had you explained that when he swallows certain enemies, he can turn into like a fireball or stuff like that? Exactly. It's a game. It don't have to make sense.
Look, do you want Kerbal and swallowing, like, riding a car like this, or would you like Kerbal to turn into the car?
Yes.
Would you like Kirby as a car? Because that's the only other way this is going.
I mean, wouldn't he be Carbal? Sorry.
Yes.
I'll save myself out now.
Like, I'll be honest, this is horrifying. The alternative is just as horrifying because it would just be a Kirby version of a car.
Yeah, but that one could be... That one could be less horrifying.
Maybe.
No, it could. Could be in the keyword.
Yeah. But besides the cursed curveballs that have overtaken the internet, we had a lot more stuff announced. First and foremost, Fire Emblem Warriors 2 is coming out. And much like Age of Calamity, it's only focusing on one game instead of doing a kind of anniversary thing, which Fire Emblem Warriors did the anniversary thing bad. And Fire Emblem Warriors is also just not that good in comparison to Hyrule Warriors. I'm sorry, but no. Hyrule Warriors was the better game. It's still the better game. Hopefully they learned.
You know what's immensely funny?
What?
That was said by someone that likes Fire Emblem.
Yeah. The only reason I owned Fire Emblem Warriors was because I liked Hyrule Warriors, I liked Fire Emblem. It can't go wrong, right? Played it. Oh, it can go wrong.
Yep.
Damn. They kind of made everyone feel the same because, oops, we only grabbed the main characters of like 3 Fire Emblem games. Oh, right, they're all kind of similar when we break it down to the classes. Ah, shit.
Well, I mean, all you need is 3 sword wielders, and they can play completely different, right? Or it was more than that. Don't try to correct me here. I'm just using the number.
Technically, it was the archers that all played the same.
I mean, fair.
Yeah.
What do you expect? Shoot bow.
I expect something like Linkle, and we didn't get that, and I am disappointed in you, video game.
Yeah, but would it have made sense?
Does Linkle make sense in Hyrule Warriors? With the fact that she has infinite arrows and bombs?
Questionable? And I only say questionable because that also kind of falls under the... Do we actually still count Linkle as a character or not? Because, you know, Nintendo's sending mixed opinions on this.
Linkle is official and canon. You will not take away my dumb lost child. I don't care, Nintendo. She's canon.
It's like, come on, just give us the gender flip Legend of Zelda title. Might as well at this point. Then we can make Linkle fully canon. And actually, now that I've said that out loud, that would work.
Yeah. Look, if you ask me where she is currently in relation to anything with Legend of Zelda, she's currently hanging out with Lana and Sia and making sure no multiversal shenanigans happen. So she's busy with that. She's essentially a time cop now, and employed by Lana. But anyway,
I'm trying to think of ways that they could actually make that work in like a traditional Zelda game now. Because I think that could actually.
simple best of dungeons that are remixed.
And then you tread that ground of them potentially doing like Mario Party Top 100.
True.
I'm not a fan of that idea.
Okay, themed dungeons around each of the different games. Like the...
But then you
the
get people
Ocarina-
comparing it to Hyrule Warriors.
True.
That's why I'm
What
like,
was the-
it could work. The question is, how without it being something that everyone will just be like, eh.
Well, I would think like an Ocarina of Time dungeon that maybe has you swapping between two versions of the dungeon in order to solve puzzles, which I think has been done in a Zelda game. It has been done in a Zelda game, right?
Huh. The ones I'm thinking of that would have a mechanic similar enough to that, I'm like, they actually don't ever do that in the dungeons.
Right. That's why I thought of that, because in Ocarina of Time, you're going between the two time periods, child and adult. So you have two time periods the dungeon is set in, and you're traversing the two to try to like solve the puzzle.
But see, that's what's funny. The way Ocarina's set up, what happens in one doesn't affect the other one, and vice versa.
Right. That's why it's themed around.
That's why when you ask that question, I'm like, wait a minute. Ocarina doesn't do it.
Right, but it's
Link to the Past
around...
that has that option doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Link Between Worlds that has that option doesn't do it. It's like, wait a minute, why has no one thought of that?
I think Skyward Sword technically does that. I think.
Maybe to a point. That's like one of the few that I've not touched.
Yeah. I feel like that one Majora's Mask might focus on like traversal with specific masks, maybe. Or being like just focus on like traversal options. Like I said, just theme it around something core to that game's identity and go from there. Because it doesn't have to be anything like specific. Like, we're not going to go do the water dungeon from Ocarina of Time. No.
Oh, why not? That was totally everyone's favorite.
I get
sarcasm at its finest. No one likes water levels, period.
I get people's problems, or I get the reason people don't like that dungeon. I don't get the reason why people don't like it, because I feel like people say the wrong reason for not liking it.
To be fair, it could be any other thing in the world dungeon, and people would probably like it better.
Probably.
Think about most platformer games. Water levels suck. They just flat out suck.
Yeah. My problem with it was just how easy it was just to find yourself going in the loop. And being like, fuck, I forgot to do this exact thing in sequence, and now I'm just back doing this loop again. And it sucks. Because there's no easy checkpoint in there for progression. That's why the dungeon sucks.
I mean, fair.
But yeah, Three Hopes, because we should talk about Three Hopes. It seems like this is going to essentially be the fifth route of Three Houses, essentially, because there's 4 routes in Three Houses already, and Three Hopes looks to be a fifth route and a unifying route between our 3 characters. And also it seems like Violet is confirmed female, which I'm fine with that. I think at this point Robin is the only confirmed male created character of the current Fire Emblem games, because I believe Corrin is canonically female. Yeah, it looks good. I will probably wait till it's out and see how it gets talked about before I hop in. And it's going to come out June of this year, the 24th. Next up, Advance Wars just got talked about some more. Got its release date reconfirmed as April 8th. Since it did get pushed back a little bit. They just showed off some of the multiplayer stuff. Showed off that they got voice acting and the like. It looks good. I will probably definitely pick this up. I like my tactics games. The thing I know definitely surprised a lot of people and made a lot of people happy, Strikers is back. with Mario Strikers Battle League. So, for those not familiar with Strikers, it's arcade Mario Soccer. That's it. That's all you need to know. It's arcade soccer, but Mario. Although a change from the previous Striker games is that everyone is a character now instead of being one of the, goon units like a Toad or a Koopa or the like, plus a character. My only concern with something like this is it might fall into what they've been doing with the golf and the tennis games, where there's not that much starting out because it's mainly a multiplayer game, and over time they'll add more stuff as free updates. Because they also showed off a customizable gear system for this as well, which I guess is cool. Not that much interested in Strikers, I assume.
I never really had any experience. See?
Yeah. Oh, I also skipped over No Man's Sky is coming to Switch. No Man's Sky is coming to Switch.
Oh no, how dare you over that.
Yeah, and the new Strikers are coming out June 10th. Let's see. We got showcased the new Salmon Run updates for Splatoon 3 for when it comes out this summer. They look good. I like that you can pass around the eggs and dump the eggs at range. A couple of new bosses as well. Like you, I wish this was coming to Splatoon 2 Salmon Run, but oh well.
Yeah.
Front Mission is back. The first two games are getting remade, with the first one coming this summer. And the second one coming at some point later down the road. It's more tactics fare, so if you're not a tactics fan, even if it's Rubits, I guess there you go. My interest for this one went down because I did find out some stuff about this one. The Disney Speedstorm, which is the Disney Mario Kart game.
Which is free to play, aka to win.
Yeah, apparently the developer for this one really pushes microtransactions hard. So, yeah, I think that one's off my radar now.
When they
After
said
finding...
it looked interesting until they said free to play. Never mind. Because the bad thing is, even if the developer big on pushing microtransaction, House of Mouse it. And it's like, yeah, that kills it right there.
We got a few ports coming. Star Wars The Force Unleashed is coming to the Switch April 20th. The Ezio collection for Assassin's Creed is coming February 17th. And the SD Gundam Battle Alliance is going to be coming to Switch later this year. Chrono Cross is back and is coming out this year with a remaster, and will include the Radical Dreamers visual novel that is a prequel to the game that was only released on some was it Stellaview? Stellaview?
Yeah. Stellaview.
Stellaview. That's what it is. I was like, how the fuck? I have heard this, but this is the first time I've seen it spelled out, and I'm like, what the fuck is this word? Although I was reminded that
AKA the free internet cloud.
Yeah. Although I was I did hear this entire stream that the people who made Chrono Cross did not like having to do all these connections to Chrono Trigger. And so if you're coming into this like, I like Chrono Trigger, about that, maybe don't play this game. You may not like what happens to all your favorite characters from Chrono Trigger.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen? They couldn't all be dead or anything, I mean.
About that. Yes, they're all dead. Spoilers. Also, your robot friend apparently gets tortured for like 1,000 years or something. Which I'm like, that's
fair
excessive.
Note, I said that without knowing anything. But that was kind of the point that I was understanding off of that one.
Yeah, it's not good. So yeah, be forewarned on that. We already talked a good bit about the Cursed Kerbals and the new gameplay feature for Kirby and the Forgotten Land. It continues to look really good. New MLB The Show is coming to Switch. Yay! Sports!
Yeah. Sports game, yay.
Klonoa is getting a remake of the first two games. And they are coming to Switch July 8th. Yay! They looked good for platformers, so... also, Portal 1 and 2 as the... what was the collection on this called?
I don't remember.
Companion Collection, that's what it is. The Portal Companion Collection, which is just Portal 1 and 2, is coming to Switch.
AKA the Portal Steam Deck version is coming to...
That is the exact speculation I saw on why this and like other Steam or other Valve games have been getting ported to something like the Switch of, oh, we're trying to get these ready for Steam Deck. We might want to port them to Switch, make sure they would work for Steam Deck.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Steam Deck is essentially Valve trying to make a Switch.
Yep.
Live Alive is getting its first ever release in the States, using the Octopath engine on July 22nd. I found out that apparently the Dragon Quest remakes of like the first Dragon Quest, or the first couple Dragon Quests, have also been using this engine, so Square has been using this for more than just Octopath Traveler, Triangle Strategy, and this. So maybe they shouldn't make the Final Fantasy, some of the early Final Fantasy remakes in this, because they've barely been using the engine a lot. Yeah, it looks good. For anyone wondering what this is, these are 8 separate JRPGs that have different artists and other personnel on them, but they're under one game because the last part of it kind of unifies all of them as like a 9th JRPG, essentially. It's really interesting. More sports and the Wii Sports variety, because Switch Sports is coming April 29th. Why do they have 3 games involving passing a thing over a net?
Because creativity.
Because they have volleyball, tennis, and badminton. Along with bowling, soccer, and swords.
Mm-hmm.
With the golf to come, which probably means there will be free updates that will give us more sports. I would assume.
Yes.
Although people were disappointed initially because you couldn't use the Mii's until the demo, the demo with the, I forget their names, but when they demoed it during the direct, they were using their Mii's. So you can still use your Mii's for this, even though I feel like Nintendo's trying to phase out the Miis.
Yeah. I mean, what's a me? I kind of love the fact that, you know, it's a thing that exists on the Switch, but that's it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's the same that could be said of Amiibo.
Mm-hmm. They're trying really hard to phase that out, but it's just like, fuck. We gotta at least round this out, and then we're done. And then we don't have to worry about it. We can stop trying to support these. A new Taiko no Tatsujin game is coming to the Switch later this year. It will have Megalovania on it because...
Of course it will.
Yeah.
Everything will have Megalovania.
Yeah. Triangle Strategy has a prologue demo out. I should give that a try. The DLC expansion for Cuphead, Delicious Last Course, is also coming to Switch the 30th. Dread is getting 2 difficulties as updates.
Already has one.
Right. It is getting a Dread mode, which is already on the game. Actually, no, they're both. Yeah, they're both there now. Because they're part of the February 9th update. The boss rush mode is later.
The rookie mode showed up for mine. I don't know if you've got to do something different for Dread mode.
Who knows. But the Dread mode... Oh, you'll need to clear hard mode.
Okay.
Yeah,
that would be it then.
Yeah. You're getting a Dread mode, which is a one-hit kill mode. You'll have to unlock... Or you have to clear hard mode first to unlock Dread mode. And you will be getting a rookie mode as essentially an easy mode. Because people are like, this game is too hard. Well, here's your easy mode, so you can learn the video game.
I mean, the easy mode still is hard. Okay.
Yeah. Apparently there's expanded mission results as well as part of this update. It will include total playtime, which includes time spent on the in-game map and all retries, item collection rate, times defeated, total damage received, and more. So they're expanding the results screen. And then a boss rush mode is coming in April that'll let you fight all of the bosses in the game, including all of the Chozo warrior guys. I wonder if you're having to face every variant of them, or you'll just have to face one of each.
Probably every variant.
I minded if it was just the one of each. It's like, all right, look, I've already fought this boss. This boss is the exact same as the other boss. I don't want to fight it again. Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings are on the online Switch service. No Mother 3 for all the sad folks who still want Mother 3. I am sorry. And then we got a little sizzle reel, Zombie Army 4 Dead War on the 26th. Getsu Den, Undying Moon, which actually looked pretty cool. It was the kind of stylized side-scrolling game in that sizzle reel. I kind of dug it. It gave me Vanillaware Games vibes, and I'm like, yes, I would like to play a Vanillaware game, even though I should still play 13 Sentinels. The new Demon Slayer Arena game, and Lego Brawls, which I didn't know Lego made their own Smash Brothers game with none of their properties involved.
That doesn't.
I didn't know this existed. And 2 Point Campus, which is essentially a Sims make your own college game, essentially. Last two, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe will be doubling its track size over the next year with the Booster Course Pass. We're going to get 6 waves of 8 tracks till the end of next year. I believe they're all going to be tracks from previous Mario Kart titles that have been remastered. I don't think they said there will be any new tracks, right?
I don't think they did. But they also didn't specify for sure either.
Okay. Well, they're pulling content at least from Super Mario Kart, Mario Kart 64, Mario Kart Super Circuit for the Game Boy Advance, Double Dash, Mario Kart DS, Mario Kart Wii, Mario Kart 7 for 3DS, and Mario Kart Tour. One of the first tracks we're getting is actually the Paris track from Mario Kart Tour, which that's the mobile game that is garbage on microtransactions, just for reference. Like, really bad. But even though this is only like $25, I believe. Yes, $25. This is free with the online expansion pack. So, yay! I guess this gives me an excuse to finally pick up Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yep.
Even though I've owned Mario Kart 8. And I didn't even think about it. Well, it's like, you know, that's one of the games I could just pick up so I'd never have to touch my Wii U for it. Which, this direct got brought up in a discussion in the Soda Pop Discord, and someone was like, I wish they would bring over Xenoblade Chronicles X, and I'm like, as soon as they feel like they can, you know, remake the game from the ground up to actually bring that over, sure. And he's like, I know, but I want it so I never have to touch a Wii U again. And I'm like, I was just thinking, you know, if they just would make a Star Fox game on the Switch that's better than Zero, I probably would also be the same way. If I'm being honest.
I mean, they did. It's called Star Fox Premium.
Right, but I want a new Star Fox game that doesn't have some garbage gimmick attached to it that brings it down.
Good luck with that.
I know. I almost threw it in.
Have not had that. Dang, we've actually not really had that since 64.
Yeah.
Because as much as I like Assault, it does have a garbage mechanic that kind of brings the game down.
Yeah.
AKA the on-foot sections.
Yeah. Like, I just had that thought of, you know, as much as I see everyone who loves F-Zero be like, I want a new F-Zero, and they're like, no, we need a new gimmick to put out a new F-Zero. I'm like, you know, as a Star Fox fan, you're only so much better off than an F-Zero fan. Like, you get new games, but they can't make a new Star Fox game that doesn't have something garbage attached to it. And it's just like, why can't you just do what you did in 64? Just make a good Star Fox game. Why does it have to have some garbage gimmick attached to it? Damn it.
Because at some point along the way, that team doesn't exist anymore. And we got stuck with the same team that, you know, created the wasn't a Star Fox game but turned Star Fox game, aka Adventures. And they're just stuck on it now.
Yeah.
Because that's what that almost feels like. Because the on-foot for Assault does feel not exact, but somewhat similar to Adventures. So I kind of feel like that's probably what happened.
But yeah, that is the new Mario Kart. And
Well,
lastly,
that is the new old Mario Kart.
that is 7 years old, as pointed out, because this is a game that originally released on the Wii U and was ported to the Switch. Because Look, we need to get all our bestsellers off the Wii U. Guess what? As soon as it got off the Wii U and onto the Switch, it's immediately the best-selling game on the Switch. Period. Still.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking Mario Kart.
And, you know, looking at this, I think I made the comment when we were streaming even. Looking at this and there being 48 new courses coming to it kind of makes you realize that those rumors that were going around about a Mario Kart 9, some of it might have been true. 48 is the same amount of tracks that the game has on its own.
Yeah.
So essentially we are getting a Mario Kart 9, it's just being built on the Mario Kart 8 engine. Which,
yep.
Does that surprise anyone? Home Circuit was built on the 8 engine.
Look, this is going well for us. We're not. Let's not make everyone buy a new Mario Kart.
I feel like this is literally the one time that Nintendo has been like, huh, we've got something that's selling. Let's not change it. Just tell me I'm wrong.
No, it's honestly, it makes sense. Because if you're not gonna make a 9, you might as well expand 8. Also, hey, make that expansion pack more worth it to make sure people stay subscribed to it for more than a year.
Or more than, you know, a month, since you can do that.
Yeah, you gotta like. I feel like Nintendo, since, you know, they've got to do those licensing fees and stuff, that's why the expansion pack is such a high price point. It's like, look, we've got to make this useful. We got to offset that somehow. Just throw our big season pass stuff on top of it. Which honestly makes the most sense. Like, if you're going to be doing more season pass content like this for games, throw it on the expansion pack. Like, now that I think about it, I don't know why the Age of Calamity one wasn't on this. Outside of it technically isn't developed by in-house by Nintendo.
I mean, that's it. Right there.
Yeah. Although listening to...
What have we gotten so far, expansion-wise? Animal Crossing and now this.
Right. Technically there's Octo expansion, but it predates this by a good margin, which I saw the suggestion of putting it on here, which no, because that will upset people.
I think the only way you could put it on there now is if you gave people that already have it some kind of a discount.
Right. I also feel like if Splatoon 3 is going to be doing, you know, something akin to the Octo expansion, do throw that on the expansion pack as well.
If it's big enough.
Right.
Like, Octo expansion works because it is about the same length as the base game.
Right.
It's gonna have to be something akin to that. But here's the problem. We did Octo expansion in 2. That finally brought the Octolings in.
Right.
Meaning if we don't start 3 with that option, we've got a problem. So now what are they going to add in? Especially with them fleshing out Salmon Run. What's really left to add in?
What if there's a surprise new third race? Because they haven't detailed what's happening in the story mode on that one that much.
That's the only thing if that did. But would they really be making a DLC banking on the fact that people might like this race too?
I don't know.
That's the thing that I'm like, they didn't granted, there was really no DLC for the first one, but they didn't bank on anything like that for the first one. They saved it for the second, so I would have thought it would have been something introduced in the second game to bank for the third.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm like, we kind of actually pulled everything. Salmon Run should have been that.
Yeah.
2 should have been the test for it. 3 should have just made it a constant with additions coming down the pipe. Maybe have some kind of like story based around it kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's where my thought process with that is.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo's not the type to gamble. They will do the one-off, and when it fails, that's it. Plugs pulled.
Mm-hmm.
They're not trying again. If Splatoon had just tanked, it would not be getting a second one. Little thoughts about DLC for a second one kind of deal.
Yeah, which, considering Splatoon has taken off like it is, and bear in mind, it had the Wii U debuff. It was shackled to the Wii U, and it still got traction, is a testament to how much people like Splatoon, I feel like.
I think between it and Mario Kart 8, that's kind of what kept the Wii U alive as long as it did. Like, in all seriousness. Because you think about it, we really had no major Zelda releases on the Wii U. We had the HD remakes.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't going to sell on its own.
Yeah.
I think we did have... Didn't we have a couple of Kirby games? I know we at least had one.
I think we had the Epic games?
No, Epic Yarn was Wii. Rainbow Curse I know was Wii U. I can't think of another one.
That is it. Just Rainbow Curse.
We actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we didn't have a mainstream Mario title. Because we had 3D World. And I don't know if I full count that one. So yeah, there really was not a lot holding the Wii U up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because obviously, yeah, Metroid was missing. Star Fox Zero was kind of a mixed bag of cats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nintendo kind of got lucky with Splatoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, we have one last thing for the Direct, and it's the thing I'm excited for. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was revealed and is coming out in September of this year. It looks really good. I really like it.
Because you know that is totally the first half of the year.
Yeah. For those wondering, it is supposed... They keep saying that it's going to connect the features of Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2. It looks like two of our... I'm going to say main villains as a question, because I'm going to hit doubt on that one for both of them at the moment.
Fair.
Are returning characters. We have a cast, one of which looks very suspiciously like another character. So probably has a relation, especially when that character is also in this trailer as potential villain, question mark. It also doesn't help that their name is a similar, like, source. But otherwise, it looks really good. They didn't talk about combat too much. It was just, hey, here's what the game looks like. Here's a basic setup of characters and story stuff. essentially, we have two nations at war. One nation is from Xenoblade Chronicles, isn't like from Xenoblade Chronicles 1, but is themed after Xenoblade Chronicles 1, and then the other nation is themed around Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Which is kind of hilarious in a meta way. Since the two games are more or less their own thing until you get deeper into it and go, oh right, they are connected very deeply. And also people don't like 2 because of all the boobs. Which I think is kind of dumb, but nah.
Yeah.
I'm someone who watches John stream, so I'm kind of numb to something like that.
Fair.
Look, I'm sorry. I've been around long enough. Like, it's I don't care. It's not that big of a deal, at least for me. But yeah, because of all this direct and stuff, we have a better idea of where we are at with the Switch lineup throughout the year. And that's what the next image is more or less the schedule going forward.
Which is super.
Mm-hmm. So going forward, no.
Oh yeah.
I kept hearing beeping. I'm like, oh god, why is everything beeping?
Beep, beep, beep.
But March, we'll see the big releases of Triangle Strategy, Mario Kart 8, Deluxe's Season Pass, Chocobo GP, Kirby. I'll throw in Persona 4 Ultimax as well, just because me. April's got Chrono Cross, 13 Sentinels, Advance Wars, the new Lego Star Wars, and Nintendo Switch Sports. May doesn't have too much. Just general spring gives us River City Girl Zero, which I think is a remake of the original River City. I think. June, that's Strikers, Three Hopes, Lego Brawls, Cuphead DLC, AI Solomon Files, which is a adventure game that I've seen the first one played a whole bunch and I really like it, so I really like to check it out. July will have Live Alive.
I disagree.
What?
I think throw Splatoon 3 up there.
Yeah, Splatoon feels that June, July right in here somewhere. Probably July, just to not.
It's been released in July's.
Well, then there we go.
I kind of can't see the third one breaking that.
Yeah. But along with it in the summer is the new Gunvolt 3, the Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, and the First Front Mission remake. September is Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and then still slated for this year, until stated otherwise, Bayonetta 3, Sonic Frontiers. That is not the correct title. It is the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It is not Breath of the Wild 2 yet.
Yeah. Also, that one I could maybe see it getting pushed back. Sonic, on the other hand, will get rushed out the door. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not.
Need I remind anyone of Sonic 06 and Sonic Boom? I hate being that way.
Yeah. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hopes, which I'm excited for. The new Turtles side-scrolling beat-em-up game, which just announced that they were putting Splinter in as a playable character, which, cool. Digimon Survive is supposedly still this year. We'll find out next month if it is, because Digimon's having a a like press conference event thing next month for their anniversary, and it's like almost the same day as Pokemon Day, which feels hilarious. Hollow Knight did the DLC. I forgot about the Ruby game being done by Way Forward.
I kind of did too.
It doesn't help that they announced it and then they haven't said anything about it at all.
Yeah.
The Metal Slug Tactics game, which I'm excited for. The Marvel Midnight Sun games, which still scares me. And River City Girls 2, among others. Anything you're specifically looking forward to at the moment since we got this up?
I mean, besides the stuff we really talked about, not really. There is one thing that I feel like is missing that possibly should be there, but we've not gotten any concrete evidence on it existing. And
Oh yeah, the Prime show.
Yeah, at least something from Prime, because we've had conflicting on whether it's the trilogy or Prime 1.
Yeah.
It's like, I get that, but at the same time, I feel like that's probably a thing. I honestly feel like Prime 4's development is the only thing holding that back.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's hoping we get something this year. Shall we talk about the Yacht Club's presents then?
The Yacht Direct?
Yep. So, short list of the things that aren't super important. Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon is getting a free update, plus DLC. Free update is just a new character, and DLC is, more of the same. New characters, enemies, bosses, items, secrets, the like. Shovel Knight Dig is in the final stages and should be coming out soon. Cyber Shadow is going to be on sale for a 1-year anniversary for about 3 more days. And for about 2 more days, the soundtrack's on Bandcamp. But the big thing they wanted to announce is they're making Mina the Hollower, which the best way I can describe this is it's their take on 2D Zelda. Like 2D Game Boy Zelda is what it looks like. And it looks pretty good. Because it also has a bit of Castlevania in it, because your main character is using a whip. So it's a weird blend of the two that works. Because you also have, like, movement tech of being able to burrow underground and pop up. Honestly, it looks really good. Proton John's actually streaming the demo of it at the moment. I've been peeking over, and yeah, it looks just as good as the trailer put it. Yeah, I'd be willing to check this out.
Yeah, I think I kind of would too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't believe this has a specific release date yet.
I mean, it says late 2023.
Okay, so we're a ways out from this. And apparently it's got a Kickstarter. I think mainly for publishing of it. I believe is what they stated.
Makes sense. Also, fitting music to be playing right now.
Oh, what is
It grabbed a remix for Link to the Past. Like, yep.
They say why somewhere on here. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Somewhere in this.
Maybe.
All the way at the bottom. Okay, they're doing it more as like a just to facilitate development and feedback for development is why they're doing it. So it's not necessarily the publishing aspect, it's more just, hey, we want feedback on this every step of the way. Easiest way to do that is Kickstarter, I guess. I feel like there are other easier ways, but okay. I guess making people pay to have their input, make sure you get good input instead of bad input.
Yeah, I could see. I could completely get that being more of a, well, do we want input of developer game bad, or do we want, you know, I feel like this needs to be changed because X, Y.
We want people to put their money where their mouth is, essentially.
Yeah.
If they're gonna tell us why, we're gonna have to ask them to pay for it.
Because, you know, internet be troll.
Right. Next up, Ghostwire Tokyo. You remember that from that E3?
Nope.
The one lady, I forget her name offhand, but she was really nice. But she's not working on this game anymore. It's been like, I think, 3 years.
Yeah.
It's been a while. It was kind of a horror title coming from Tango Gameworks. The initial pitch of it sounded interesting. How do I put this without it sounding terrible?
There's probably no good way if you had asked that question.
So you know how we've got all these like Far Cry games, all those your fairly standard first-person open-world game.
Yeah.
That. Like, it seems like you have a lot of fancy abilities and stuff, but it seems like the general idea of the game is, hey, if you played any of those first-person shooter games from like the last like 5 years that are open world, just that in general, so it doesn't sound as exciting anymore. Like, the world and stuff sounds cool. Gameplay wise, it just doesn't sound that interesting anymore. Arn. It makes me a little sad. Because yeah, you can skip to like 8 minutes in the trailer and you can kind of get an idea of like, yeah, that's this is kind of what the game is. Yeah, any other thoughts on that?
No.
All right then. Hey, we haven't talked about it on here, but the Halo trailer for the show that's on Paramount Plus, that I will probably not be watching it on Paramount Plus. Sorry, but no. I don't know how to feel about this. Mainly because I can only infer what the series is about. Because this trailer doesn't say a whole lot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it doesn't. Like, I can infer that, like, oh, we're building towards Halo 1 because we're in a Halo Reach, like, timeline. Or timeline-wise, we're in, like, a Halo Reach period where we're pre, like, Halo Ring, but post First Contact, so we're in the depths of the Covenant War, and well, you sure are saying things, and I'm like, all right, is this the truth, or is this going to still be fiction in the context of the universe?
Yes.
Also, apparently people are unsettled by Cortana in this trailer, and I don't know, she's fine. Oh no, she's more human-like, and she was purple in the first game.
Yeah.
Sometimes she was green in the first game as well.
Yep.
Then they made her blue for the rest of the games. Would you like her to be all purple? I don't think you want her to be all purple if we're just going to have the actress captured like lifelike. That's not gonna work. I'm pretty sure this is the best scenario for this. But yeah, it seems fine. I'll give it an episode and we'll see where it goes. But if the first episode, which for reference is debuting in March 24th, I don't know if the whole series is debuting, but we'll at least get an episode the 24th. Because I don't know if Paramount Plus does big dumps or single episode weekly releases.
I could see that being
not to burn people off the bat.
Yeah. I could maybe see like having a couple of episodes launch kind of deal.
To give people more of an idea if the first episode has minimal chief.
Yeah. You mean when the first episode has?
So help me if the first episode is everything but chief, and I'm like, oh god, you're doing that Hollywood thing where you want the thing and you gotta wait like an hour for that.
I mean that, and on top of that, you also get back to. We're trying to do a ton of info dump. I could completely see the first 5 minutes, maybe see Chief, and then it do like some kind of flashback and.
Yeah, because we have to explain what the fuck the Spartans are, what the Covenant is, what the UNSC is, this, that, the other. Because, by the way, we have to explain to you Halo lore now, when we've never had to explain to you Halo lore before in any other fucking video game.
Because I could completely see this being a you see Chief in a battle and then it'd be like a this is how we got here kind of deal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna laugh if that's exactly what happens. Because at that point I'm just gonna be like, yep, called that.
So, shall we talk about the acquisition that I hope this doesn't become more common on the show, like a certain other thing that surprisingly we don't have to talk about this week.
I mean, yeah, I guess we should talk about Sony deciding to bungee jump.
Yeah. So, Sony has acquired Bungie for the price of $3.6 million. Not million. $1 billion. But this is not a full acquisition. This is more. I keep seeing this as Sony wants a cut of Destiny's money in whatever IP Bungie is apparently developing at the moment that's new and is also a live service game. And also apparently Sony wants to do more live service games. So you might as well get Bungie and go, hey, by the way, can we add your live service game to our portfolio essentially on a sort of exclusive basis? Like, they just want to cut a Destiny money off the top, and then Bungie can do whatever they want. After that point, we just want a cut of the money. Is what this feels like. Because Bungie is still independent in a sense of Sony can't tell them what to do, I guess. Kind of.
Even if that's the case, are you going to tell the company that crap ton of No.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be real here. Regardless of how it is on paperwork, yeah, Bungie's owned by Sony.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Like,
you're not gonna bite the hand that feeds you. if they tell Bungie you're making a game only for PlayStation, they're gonna more than likely be like, yeah, okay, can we release it everywhere else later?
Mm-hmm. I assume Bungie has a lot more like leeway on if we want to do a thing, we are going to do a thing. But otherwise, yeah, they're still technically. Oh, it's so weird. And also, it should be pointed out that this is most likely not a reaction to Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard, because this has apparently been working for far longer than that, because that Activision Blizzard deal only dates back to the holiday season of this past year from word of mouth on that situation.
But you know what's funny?
What?
It probably also stems from that.
Yeah, like this is probably more a reaction to the ZeniMax acquisition by Microsoft, or one of their smaller acquisitions.
Maybe.
Yeah, this is just where we're at with the industry at the moment. Like, no, please. Like, I got a really good there's a really good reminder on why, these big publishers acquiring studios might be a bad thing. So recently, or today actually, Matt McMuscles did his What Happened video on Midway. Do you want to take a guess on who owns all of Midway's IPs at the moment?
Who?
Warner Brothers. Because Midway were the ones that made Mortal Kombat. Guess how much Warner Brothers is using Midway's properties?
How much?
It's just Mortal Kombat, and that's it. No Rampage, nothing else that was under Midway's banner. Nothing. Nothing else. And Warner Brothers owns all of it. Full sale. Nothing is stopping them from using anything under Midway. It's just, they just want to do Mortal Kombat, and that's it. So all that stuff that Midway made over its long lineage, going back to the arcades, it's just locked up and no one is doing anything with it. If the industry consolidates small enough, that's what will happen to a lot of IPs. They will just be stuck in a vault somewhere, in the proverbial IP vault of some major publisher that won't do anything with it because, wait, what is this? I don't know. Who cares? It's not the thing we bought the company for, so who fucking cares?
I mean, fair.
So this is a really good thing to watch as a reminder of this is why we don't want the industry to consolidate. This is why.
But okay, I am going to play the other side here. Mm-hmm. What would have been, using that as an example, what would have been the better option? Let them consolidate and barely use the IPs, or see Midway go under and then no one touch the IPs?
Fair.
It's one of those, it sucks, but looking at the other end of that outcome, it's like, maybe it's not the worst?
Right. Well, technically, Midway went under anyway, and Warner Brothers were the ones who bought all their stuff. So it's technically the second example, but yeah.
I mean, yes and no.
Yeah.
Because they could have just as easily bought and said, no.
Yeah.
What I'm more meaning by going under, I mean going completely under, no one even wanting to buy them kind of deal.
Right.
Then those rights are floating off in the void somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
and no one can do anything.
Yeah.
It's one of those, looking at it on that aspect, it's like, yeah, anyone buying anyone else can be bad, but the other outcome, aka the reason why they're probably looking for someone to buy them, yeah, that one's probably far worse. Because, case in point, you've even said about Bungie not really being able to do much outside of Destiny 2 besides just play patchwork. Because, lack of money means there's a limit to what they can do.
Yeah.
So, in a case like that, would we rather see, for instance, a Destiny 3 that might be PS exclusive or timed exclusive, or no Destiny going forward? But it's one of those, that's the questionable trade-off there. And I mean, technically the same thing can be said about, like, with Halo, how it wound up. It's like, there's some games, looking at you, Halo 5, that would have been a prime example of just let it die. But then again, there's stuff like 4 Story where it's like, it would be nice if that does get to keep going.
Although I've heard people not like 4 outright anyway.
I mean, fair. Story I'm fine with, multiplayer no.
I've heard people not like the story of 4.
Fair. Granted, I think a lot of the reason why I'm completely fine with that thought is because of how 5 went. We took something that could have been something and said, nope.
Alright then, that is pretty much the news for this week. Shall we hit releases then?
I guess we shall.
Alright, kicking off on the 14th, River City Girls 0 is coming out for the Switch. Monster Prom 2 Monster Camp XXL for Switch. On the 15th, Bassmaster Fishing 2022 Deluxe Edition for Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. And then Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires for Xbox One, Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch. On the 16th, Tax Fugitive for Switch. On the 17th, the Ezio Collection for Switch. The Fluffy Cube for Switch. The Table Game for Switch. King of Fighters.
You did that wrong. It's the table game.
Ah, yes, the table game. Like, is it a... That can't be right. Because that removes, like, the entire point of that arcade game. Because in Japan, there's an arcade game that has an actual table as the peripheral that you flip, and then on screen a whole bunch of shit happens after you flip the table. Like, it's kind of like a high score game kind of game. Also, a Google search brings up nothing. Because this is such a generic ass thing, it is bringing up nothing.
That does not surprise me.
I think the proper result is like 6 down, and it's essentially a tabletop game collection. So, card games, backgammon, mahjong, pretty much that stuff. Also, Voice of Cards, The Forsaken Maiden for PlayStation 4 and Switch. That's that Yoko Taro like card adventure game that looked kind of interesting. Let's see. On the 18th, Horizon Forbidden West for PlayStation 4 and 5. Super Toy Cars Off-Road for Xbox One Series X. Tabletop Racing World Tour Nitro Edition, Code in a Box Edition for Switch. 22nd, Destiny 2, The Witch Queen for Xbox One Series X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Stadia. YouTubers Life 2 for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. 23rd, Edge of Eternity for Switch, and Final Fantasy 6 Pixel Remaster for Android and iOS. And I assume... Actually, no, that's already out. Right?
Or...
On all... everything else, pretty much.
Probably.
Okay. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's already out for everything else. 24th, Martha is Dead for Xbox One Series X, PlayStation 4, and 5. Who is Zombie for Switch? And lastly, on the 25th, Altair Sophia 2, The Alchemist of the Mysterious Dream for PlayStation 4 and Switch. Elden Ring for Xbox One Series X, PlayStation 4, and 5. For everyone waiting on Elden Ring, it will finally be out. Grid Legends for Xbox One Series X, PlayStation 4, and 5. Life is Strange True Colors for Switch. One Gun Guy for Switch. Saints Row, I believe this is the reboot for Xbox One Series X, PlayStation 4, and 5 that has gotten like no press, which is concerning. And that looks to be it, folks. And I don't have a quick draw. Like I said, it's been a couple weeks for me, so I've got nothing fancy to talk about.
Same.
I might in the next couple weeks because the last marker I needed came in, so I might be able to do up my version of those Revy customs I've been showing you, or Combiner Revy customs I've been showing you. They will most likely be not as good, but I will try. But tomorrow we continue watching Kuga. I watched all 4 episodes yesterday.
I watched the first half of the 4, but that's because I'm closing tomorrow, so afterwards.
But that is tomorrow. Next Wednesday will hopefully be us picking up Prime 2.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yay, I can't wait to find out what new boss will just make me shake my head and go, why are the bosses in this game bad? Everything else about this game has been good. Why are the bosses bad? Why do you have bad bosses, Prime 2? What happened? I do hope there's not another Morph Ball Maze boss.
I don't think so.
I hope not. That was the worst idea for a boss I have ever seen in anything. There's that. Thursday will be us continuing Legends Arceus, or me continuing Legends Arceus, and then next Saturday will be us continuing It Takes Two.
Possibly finishing.
Yay! So, if you like what you're seeing, folks, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Chipping away at that affiliate goal. @TZone on Twitter gets the updates when we're live. Next Twitch point, Discord, and chat. Is this one link? Drop by, say hi. See you tomorrow, folks.